Hey everybody, I am back on the Appalachian Trail and I'm in New Hampshire. So my husband dropped me off in Hanover, which is where I ended when I did the Vermont leg of the trail. And the trail goes through the town of Hanover.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
And past the rec center where you could take a shower. And then alongside the athletic fields and back into the woods where I am now. Not sure how far I'll go today. Probably not too far because I didn't really start hiking until close to 3 o'clock. And by the time we drove here and I got dropped off, it's later in the day. So right now I'm climbing up the first hill, which is a small hill by New Hampshire standards. And let's see how far I get. I love that sign. Apparently, a lot of people going southbound head this direction when they should head that direction. I am not going southbound, I am going northbound. But it's not easy to make a wrong turn going northbound because the fork heads back the other way. So I just came from there, and then I lost the trail. It doesn't go this way. It doesn't go that way. There it is, up there. Look at the size of this. They're huge. Compare that to my foot. Got a marsh here. This is an area where it would be very difficult to follow the trail without the blazes. The forest floor all kind of looks like it could be trail. That's the way I came from. The trail's actually right over there. And this is the way I'm going. But you can see I'm just going from blaze to blaze. There's another blaze over there. Because without the blazes, it kind of looks like it could be trail in every direction. That would be a great climbing tree. Not that I have a tendency to climb trees. All right, that way or that way. There are no blazes. It's this way, according to my navigation. It's about 6 o'clock. I'm gonna start looking around for a campsite and see what I can find. Right now, my biggest problem is that the mosquitoes are starting to come out in force. So I went to grab my sun shirt to put on. I figured it'd give me a layer of protection. I left it in the car when my husband dropped me off. He's the one who dropped me back at trail. We dropped off a resupply box at Hiker's Welcome Hostel. And then he dropped me a trail. And I left my sun shirt in the car. So he's gonna have to mail it to me. But in the meantime, I am without a sun shirt. Found this nice clearing. The trail's right over there. I'm gonna set up my tent here. And there's a nice view out that way. I got my tent set up here. I'll probably use that tree to hang my bear bag. I also picked up a couple of new pieces of clothing for this leg of the trip. This is a base layer, but it's a quarter zip hoodie base layer. So it's coming in handy right now to keep the mosquitoes off. It's lighter than my microgrid fleece, which I left home. Lots of mosquitoes out here tonight. I also got some micro weight base layer pants that I can wear around camp, or if I need long pants while hiking during the day. I had my dinner, I brushed my teeth. I am inside my tent and the mosquitoes are outside of the tent. That's the way it should be. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's almost 6 o'clock. I'm packing up my tent. And of course it's starting to rain. It's very light at the moment. So hopefully that's it. Hopefully I just get a sprinkle and nothing heavy. It's very gloomy down in here this morning. Probably because it's still all overcast. Hope it burns off. It's raining again. So much for the clouds burning off. At the moment, it's still a light rain. Fingers crossed. I don't want to get dumped on. It's raining. Put up the umbrella. As the rain is continuing. And without my sun shirt, this is the only long sleeve layer I have that I can wear during the day in the rain. So I'll try not to get it too soaked. I'm gonna get some water here. Last night was a dry camp. So I used up the water that I had for dinner. I had just enough water to make some electrolyte this morning. But I need to refill now. There's not a whole lot of good places for water today. Climbing up Moose Mountain. It's my full pack. Got about another mile to the top. Hey, this is Moose Mountain South Peak. There's also Moose Mountain North Peak, and in between there's Moose Mountain Shelter. So I'll probably pop into the shelter to have a dry place to have a snack. My trail legs aren't as strong as when I left trail a few weeks ago. But I also don't feel like a couch potato, so that's a good thing. I did do some hikes in between to try to keep in shape, but of course those hikes were all with day packs. They were day hikes, so I have to adjust to carrying my fully loaded heavy pack again. I picked up a new rain jacket. It's got more of the features I want. It's a little bit bigger and roomier. And my old one wet through very easily, so we'll see if this is any better. It's a little bit heavier, but if it works, then that's worth it. Still raining, so I had a snack here in the shelter, and I'm gonna continue on. All right, I'm off. I'm just kind of slogging along. From that shelter, it's about almost 6 miles to the next shelter. So I'll stop at that one and reevaluate. If it's still really raining, I might stop there for the night. That would be just under 10 miles for the day. If it's not raining, I might go a little bit further. There's a campsite at about 8.5 miles from here. And then the next one is about 12 miles from here. So, but that 12-mile one is on the climb up to the top of Smarts Mountain. That climb would be at the end of the day. So we'll see. I don't think I'm going to get to the top of Smarts Mountain today. I think I'll save that for tomorrow morning. My umbrella is my luxury item. Something that's not technically necessary, but you're willing to carry the extra weight because of how much better it makes your life. There's the Moose Mountain North Peak. All right, now I start heading down. I have at least a 1,500-foot descent, followed by another climb of over 1,000 feet to a mountain whose name I don't know. And then on the other side of that mountain is another shelter I can stop at. This is so pretty through here. The trail is going through an evergreen forest, and there's ferns and moss and mushrooms on the path. It's really nice. I love the way the tree roots find their way around the rock outcroppings and down into the ground. So pretty. That looks like a recent break. Pretty fresh. It's still got all its nice green leaves on it. These grasses are tripping me. This mountain without a name is pretty steep. Now I feel like a couch potato. Not a bad view considering it's been raining all morning. I made it to the top. All right, my feeling is if you're gonna make a trail up a mountain that steep, you at least need to give the mountain a name. Because it's not as impressive to go, woohoo, I made it to the top of some random mountain without a name. This is a spot marked view. I think I'll sit here and finish up my lunch. It's a nice little breeze. It should keep the mosquitoes at bay. This was the shelter I was originally thinking of staying at, but I think I'm gonna move on, maybe a couple more miles. It's only around 3:30. There is another place where you can tent, according to the comments, at about 2.8 miles from here. So I am going to move on, see what that looks like, and that would put me right before the climb up Smarts Mountain. So fingers crossed there are actually tent sites there, because I'm not going over Smarts Mountain today. I'll save that for the morning. I am sitting in the parking lot at Lyme-Dorchester Road. That's the AT going up there behind me. And I'm having my dinner. And I set up my tent on the other side of the parking lot. There's a Blue Blaze trail that goes that way. And about 200 feet up, there's some camping spots. So my tent is set up over there. So, and then there's a creek right there on the other side of the parking lot, so I could fill up my water. And then tomorrow morning I'll head up this way towards Smarts Mountain. That's going to be a big climb, but I'll get it done first thing in the morning. I filled my water. Now I have to figure out where to hang the bear bag. I don't see an obvious good choice. I'll have to search around a little bit. I'm blowing up my air mattress, getting the inside of my tent organized. My feet got all wet today in the rain. I have a makeshift clothesline, so I'm trying to dry out my socks and things. They probably won't dry overnight, but hopefully they'll be a little bit better. I did 12.6 miles today. See you tomorrow.